keep this. It could be problematic if we flood out a little bit, since we have just 1 mana spell, 2 mana spell, 2 mana spell. But we have the early plays, and that's the half that we want to have. The opponent also has an early play, an earlier play. The question is, do we want to trade here? I feel like trading's fine here, because this guy can transform into a bigger threat, a 4/4. So we're basically trading our 2/1 for, well, alright. There's that. So I think we would basically accept the trade here too, except we're going to play Strength of Arms. The opponent's probably willing to make this trade, so they'll probably attack, then we'll block, and then if they pass, we'll just, what is this? Whenever it enters the battlefield, investigate, Chen-Plan has add 2 mana of any color to your mana pool. Interesting. Huh. So we could add 4, 5, we could actually transform this the next turn, which I guess we're okay with. I think we just jam this guy and attack. Get some damage in while we can. So the opponent plays a land first, so we can't block, so they'll just make it a 4/4. So now the opponent probably won't even transform it, but it's just a, one of those positions that the opponent's in. It's a good card. 1/3 Lifelink Skulk. Black creature. That is not what I expected the opponent to play. Okay. Well, I feel like we're in that territory now. Or we're just going to play the Ironclad Slayer. So the Priest is going to tap down the Prowler. This creature can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. So I can actually block with the Priest and kill it. I still think I just want to do that though. I think we're okay with this. The opponent and their 3-color deck against our essentially mono-color deck. So we should have smoother mana draws. Not this game. This game, opponent's mana has been fine. Destroy target creature, controller loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. Okay. They don't have a creature we really want to kill yet. In a 3-color deck, they probably have a bomb, so we don't want to just use this purge on like the Prowler in the spot. And they're just going to tap out and play some huge bomb. So I think we probably want to save it. Just do this. Continue to pluck away. Just tap down the Prowler. Up to 7 mana. Yeah, just get drained for 1 basically. Alright, so 4/5 flyer. I think that's probably a creature that it's safe to kill. Oh, there's another tapper too. We want to play the land because we want to tap their creature. And the next turn we can start tapping down both their creatures. I guess we block. They could have a pump spell, but I think it's worth it to gain life. I think it's just kind of a free attack. Because they know we're not going to attack with the priests. And our guy is just going to be bigger. Okay, now in this spot, they have 2 cards left in hand. They have 8 mana. They're very likely to just transform the wolf. We don't need to press our advantage because we have a pair of tappers, but we could on the Slayer. 5, put him in 9, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'd have lethal next turn if we attack with everyone. I think I'd rather play a little bit safer. Just let the opponent act first. This could cost us, but considering we have like 2 tappers on the battlefield, I think we want to go ahead and tap both, just to prevent the 1 point of life gain. Uh-oh, Emerge coming. Boom, gets 1 of our cards. Looks like they're a green-black deck, splashing white. So probably have some white bomb, like a Sigarda or something like that. Interesting. I don't understand why that. Like, this one's just a permanent version of that. That also gives my creature flying. I don't understand why you would choose that one instead. A non-land card for red mana cost. Okay, so they could have. They just chose not to. What does that signify? Does it mean they have a removal spell? Maybe. I guess we'll just walk into it though. Our resources aren't especially important at this point. These extra lands There's not really anything we can do with them. So if I got flying, it's at 5. Alright, they didn't do anything. Tap both your creatures. Opponent has tons of land, can do anything they want, but we have lethal unless you do something. Oh, that's a good one. What does this do? The Delirium sorcery creature. Return up to 1 target land from the graveyard to your hand and 1 target creature. Okay. Well, that was a good one. I think we figured out why they're 3 colors now. Descend upon the sinful. Alright, that one's good. It means they need removal, not just a blocker. So they have land, creature, sorcery. They have that and now enchantment. So they can get back a creature and a land. So they can get back forest and probably Kessig Prowler. Maybe the 2/3 flyer. It's whether they want a 4/4 or a 2/3 flyer, or they could just wait, see what we do first. Oh boy. So they get Descend Upon the Sinful, Apothecary Geist, Boon of Emrakul, Forest, Kessig Prowler. Jeez. Alright, so things were looking good, and then they were looking even, and now they're looking bad. Guess that's what rares will do. Let's play the Prowler, play the Geist. Flip the Prowler, attack us for 6. If we draw a creature, the Stitcher's Graph will negate the Boon of Emrakul, essentially. Ooh, that's a good one to draw. This guy's about to get 4/2 flyer, though. So they're about to have 6 power with the flying. Can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. That's okay. You only need to block with 1 creature. It's 2 to equip. Alright, well, we're favored to find a creature here. Let's see if we do. We do. It's not one we can cast. So we can hold our land. If we draw land, we can just play the Faith Bearer and equip. So we have a lethal threat. Yep. And it drew Bygone Bishop. I block one, unfortunately. Still died to the other one. Wow, this was a pretty close game, considering. So jump block. I guess the opponent will just know we have it. I don't know what the right play is here. So that gets around the Boon of Emrakul that we know they have in their hand. So now it's a question of, are they willing to attack into this board? Probably are. They could be afraid of Galvanic Bombardment, which would kind of blow them out pretty badly. But I guess they're not in a position to play around that, so whatever, good game. Right, so they have a lot of big delirium shenanigans. 1 damage target blocking creature. Creature is indestructible. The insta returns to the battlefield with a counter on it. It could be a trick. Spectral Reserves. It's making a 4/4. To give us staying power. This is a thing that stays on the board beyond the Descent upon the Sinful. I like this removal that exiles. Equipment are good. The Strength and Arms might be a cut. So 7. So we have 11/7 here. Yeah, I guess this is. I just feel like we want a little more staying power. We could kind of fight fire with fire if the opponent plays the Wrath effect. So we have both our colors. This enters the battlefield. Sacrifice another permanent. Don't really have anything we want to sacrifice. So it's not a great hand. We can't really apply pressure. We don't really want to leave the opponent with a lot of time, because I feel like they have the better late game than us. If we can rip a couple of lands, this hand would be great, but I think it's a little slow. So mulligan. Ugh. So a pair of 3/2s don't really do anything yet. This guy gain card advantage. Problem is we need a plains right away. We need another land. get to scry. If we could just, so we scry to the bottom, draw a land, play it, draw not land, play this land, draw not land, play this land, play it, draw land. So for like 50% draw land, there's scry, draw on turn 2, 3, 4. So we're likely to draw two of the top 4. So I guess we keep this. Bottom that. And I mean, the Outrider will get us back card advantage. Well, getting punished for all these mountains, unless we can draw plains right here. Nope, punished. Of course, Craig Wesco gets punished for only playing 11 plains in his deck. Hey, there we go. So I think I like leading with the Fiendbinder, because whenever the opponent plays a blocker, this guy will tap down the blocker, so it's the most likely creature to be able to connect on our turn. Meanwhile, the opponent has 5 mana, and all their colors very easily. And we've dealt them no damage. And their big 5 mana play, Farbog Revenant. I guess I get to sack a clue, which is pretty relevant. We don't have any 1 mana red cards, so we'll just play this guy. Alright. So we have True Faith Sensor, 3rd from the bottom. We have Handwear Garrison, ready to come down. I suspect this hand of mono Hill Giants is not going to match up well against this Descend Upon the Sinful huge monster deck. Question is, how far do we extend? Opponent's at 6 mana. They decide not to just 2 for 2 with Descend. If we attack and we play another threat, like this Garrison or whatever, they'll almost certainly Descend, unless they just don't have it. But considering they have 6 mana, and the only card they've played is a 1/3, like this creature that they probably don't care about, there are huge red flags that they just have the Descend that we know about. So I'm very hesitant to play a creature unless the opponent plays a removal spell here. So I'd rather just press our advantage because this one already has built-in removal. And whenever they cast Descend, then we deploy multiple threats in a turn. So up to 7 mana. Yep. Slowly chipping away. We've demonstrated that we're not willing to play more threats until you cast the Descend or progress your board in some way. Yep, they play the Descend. So we basically just got 6 extra damage in by waiting. Now we can play both of these in the same turn. Certain Death. Okay. So 7 mana. I think we play Eldritch and Slayer. Can't really play around a second sweeper. We have to just assume that they are just going to play blockers and individual removal for the rest of the game. Okay, there's a 4/5 blocker. Yep. Spectre Reserves. Ooh, our creatures can gain lifelink. We can just flip this guy. That sounds awesome. So we're going to lose a creature, deal the opponent 8, gain 8, transform the Lone Rider. I think that's a fair trade as long as the opponent doesn't have a removal spell, which I think they basically had the same amount of mana untapped last turn, and they didn't. So I think it's probably safe. So we don't need to play this guy yet. Yeah, we do. Because Lone Rider needs to give everybody lifelink with that guy. Let's just play both. +1. Attack. Our creatures gain lifelink. We attack with all our creatures. Lose likely Eldritch here. Opponent takes 8, we gain 12. Which is plenty enough to transform our guy on our end step. First strike, trample, lifelink. So that's the one the opponent's going to have to block. We have like 4 creatures. They have to block at least 2 of them. We have considerable life total advantage. I think we just jam with everyone here. I mean, the opponent's a 3-color deck with like big mana spells. They could just be flooding. Yep, it's game. See, when you know they have Descend Upon the Sinful, you know to play around it, games can go a little differently. Alright, so that's probably not worth it. Maybe we have too many mountains, 2, 4, 6, 7 red lands. I know what's going to happen if we board out a mountain. We're just going to get wrecked by like not drawing red, draw all 3 of our red spells. So these are basically equipment. They're just pump spells that stay on the board, which is where I want to be against a deck with Wraths. So we want removal spells for sure. This spell is just a super big, like overrun type card. And everything else is basically a creature. We have 17 creatures and 6 spells. That's probably about right. The question is, do we want to cut a mountain for a plains? Is that going to punish us? We have 11 white, 7 red. So we want to go 12/6. All of our white spells are single white. Alright, we're going to run it back. I mean, we had the all mountain draw and we still drew the 1 plains that was good enough. We still managed to win that game. We mulliganed. So I think we'll just run it back. Okay, so we drew an equipment, which can be quite handy with these tokens. We have a nice curve, we have our colors. A lot of things going for this hand. Question is, do we just run this out there? Or do we make it a surprise? think we run it out there because if we draw like land, you might want to go turn 4 outright or turn 5, equip and play Garrison or something, or play a 3-drop that we get off this guy, something like that. Alright, opponent has a 2/2 defender, pay 6 to make it a 4/2 flyer. I think we're okay with a block here. It's because we have like these more powerful cards that we're going to try to win with. Now the opponent could play the enchantment, that's +3, -3. We could have played around that by waiting until we have 5 mana to play it and equip with the graph. That's like one card that could be in their deck. I'd rather just curve out. So I think we're okay with, like they're just going to sack the clue here. So we don't have any one color. Okay. If we equip, that's 6, but then we get less tokens because it can only attack every other turn. We'd rather just play the Outrider. So we're just going to attack the opponent for 3 and get a free token out of the deal. That sounds good. And then we play this guy. Alright, so there's a Faithbearer Paladin and a Tapper. And 2 spells we want, but we can't have. So next turn we could go Choking Restraints, equip the Stitcher's Graph. And then the following turn, do we want Tapper or do we want the Paladin? I feel like the Tapper is pretty versatile, but man, Paladin plus Stitcher's Graph, so good. I'm gonna go with the Paladin. And then on top it'll be Purge, Reserves, Priest. So the opponent could just play a land and pass, which would threaten this Gargoyle to turn on. Then we would attack for 2, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, and play this Choking Restraints. And we'd still have Faithbearer backup. Yes, they're just going for it now. They're like, we're not even going to worry about that. Alright, so we play the Paladin. Now the opponent goes, kill this guy, drain you for 2, which has basically been his play every game, where he plays that card, the Prowler, and the Descend. And the opponent's pretty good shape, but I guess they could play, what is it, not Doubling Season, Seasons Pass. They could get their Descend back, along with the Prowler, it'd be pretty strong. And then we would just, we're draining for 6. Whoa, hello. Ooh, we drew a good one too. So Death Touch, 6/6. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice the monster unless you sack a land. You may play an additional land in each of your turns. Whenever one or more land cards is put into your graveyard from anywhere, draw a card. So it's Death Touch. If we equip and attack, it might trade, which I think is good for us. Or we could Choking Restraints, equip and attack, kind of like that. but then the opponent gets to sack a land to draw a card every turn. Not sure I like that. I guess not every turn. We'll get to sack the Choking Restraints at some point. I do like getting 6 damage in this turn. Alternatively, we could just go land Devil's Play, get 4 1/1s. Next turn, do the play of Choking Restraints to 6/6, equip, attack for 10. Sounds really good, but I think I'd rather do this turn. Also allows us to play our tapped land. Not that that's especially important, but so the Gitrog Monster. Jeez, this opponent just drafted all the rares. Gitrog Monster, Descend Upon the Sinful, Seasons Past. Ooh, double strike, lifelink. That sounds pretty mean. Opponent did not play a land last turn, so they are starting to handcuff themselves with the monster. We know they have 4 non-lands in hand. It's not inconceivable that they just let the monster go. They did. Alright. Takes care of that. Now we have 2 of the Armory Man to get this thing back from the graveyard now, too. And they're not on the bottom of our deck. Seasons Past, getting back Monster, Descend, Prowler, Forest. Okay. That's pretty good. And it exiles the tokens. So that's pretty rough. So we don't get the extra pings out of it. And that's the game anyway. Okay. So play our land, give a thing double strike. And give our guys +2/0. Give it to a token. Attack with everyone. Doesn't matter who you block. All our guys get +2/0. Good games. That's how you do it. That's how you beat Descend Upon the Sinful, being drawn all 3 games in a row.